July 16th, 2025, I posted a video on our YouTube channel titled, Why We Rejected This Sponsor. We do not do scripted reviews. What's the story? If you have seen that video, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not seen the video, I'll try to summarize quickly. Advertiser reached out to us. They saw one of our videos on our NorthridgeFix DIY channel going over pool equipment, cleaning a pool, green pool, leaky pool. And if you have not seen our DIY channel, it's not as popular as our NorthridgeFix channel. It's a new channel. It's called NorthridgeFix DIY, and you can see down here, green pool revival, pool leak, and all that stuff. I do DIY stuff on the channel, and the advertiser found out that we have a pool through this channel. So the advertiser contacted us, and they said their client is very interested in us reviewing a $3,000 pool vacuum, a vacuum that is AI smart. It cleans the floor, the walls, the surface, water line, all the bells and whistles. Battery operated, no hose, no wires, no cables. And me, a person who has a pool, I thought, you know what, it would be nice to try out that vacuum and see how it works, and it will make good content. So I replied back to the advertiser and I told them I accept. I will review that vacuum, and they are paying, on top of the vacuum, they are paying $1,800, not much, but I just wanted to try that vacuum and see how that vacuum works. So I accepted. I told them to mail over the vacuum to our business address, and everything is good. The following day, they sent us an email. Great, we are happy that you accepted. And they sent over a PDF file, a contract, a very lengthy contract. And I thought, let me open and read what's inside that PDF file. The advertiser is cornering you from every angle. You have to go by what they tell you to do, more like a scripted review or advertisement. And you have to provide drafts. They have to okay the draft. 3 drafts, 4 drafts. I do not know how many drafts they want. More like a scripted review or an advertisement for that product. So they want me to create a video, them telling me what to say, what to do, and that's an advertisement. It's no longer an honest review. I do not do that. For every viewer who's been watching the channel for such a long time, you know I do not like to sugarcoat things. I say it like it is, and I'm honest about my reviews, whether we are reviewing a product that we sell or whatever the case may be. Like, for example, when Emotion mailed us their electric unicycle, I created the video, I unboxed it, I was 100% honest in the way I presented that product. I tried to ride it and I fell. Now, falling may seem bad for that product. Oh, he fell. I could fall on anything, not just a unicycle. Maybe I'm trying a motorcycle and I could fall. Maybe a person who doesn't know how to ride a bicycle, if I attempted to ride the bicycle for the first time, I may fall. It does not mean I'm not going to include that footage in my review. I was honest in the way I reviewed that product, and I told them it's going to take some practice to know how to ride that electric unicycle. After I practiced, I was able to ride it. I created another video to show viewers that after I practiced, I was able to ride the unicycle, and I answered a lot of the questions that people had. So I did not, from video 1, I did not go and tell them, oh, go and buy it, so easy to ride, or having to send that video to InMotion for them to approve it, and they tell me, no, take out that part where you fell. No, none of that stuff. When I review something, it's one draft. It's not multiple drafts. I review that product in the way and style that best fits our channel, and the way I review things. Anytime I review a product, whether it's our product, a product that we sell, or whatever the case may be, I say it like it is, 100% honest. I do not like to go around in the loop, and I just tell you how that product is like. I do not review a product for the sake of putting that product down. No. Any product in the world is open for improvement. If I review that vacuum and I see that that vacuum is lacking in the way it cleans, I'm going to mention it. Maybe they need to improve the firmware. I have a multi-level pool. The vacuum did not climb to the 3rd level. Stuff like that. Not to put the vacuum down. The vacuum can always be improved, whether it's firmware or hardware. Anyway, I told them, I sent them an email, and I told the advertiser, tell your client that we do not go by contracts. We do not do drafts. I do a one-shot review of that product. I'm going to get to know that product first before I do a review. I do not want to be lacking in knowledge on how to use that vacuum. No, I'm going to unbox it in real time, and then I'm going to take some time to figure out how that vacuum works. Maybe I'll put it in the pool for a couple of days. I'll monitor how it cleans the floor, the walls, the surface. And then after I have full knowledge on how to use that device, then I'll start doing a review and going over the features and then going over pros and cons and all that stuff. In Motion, when they sent us the unicycle, they just mailed it over to us. No contracts, nothing. And they did not even follow up with us on when we're going to review that unicycle. When I got to it, I reviewed it, and I created not just one video, I created 2 videos. It was an amazing unicycle. I took the time to create a second video, so I do not give a bad impression about the unicycle that, you know what, if you ride it, you're going to fall. No, you're going to fall if you do not practice. Common sense. Let me read the email I sent them rejecting the offer. After reviewing your terms, we will have to pass for now. We don't work under third-party terms or sign lengthy contracts like the one provided. Our content is built on honest, unbiased opinions. While the video will reflect the positive aspects of the product, I reserve the right to include constructive feedback where necessary. This ensures authenticity, which our audience expects and appreciates. We do not provide drafts. We produce content in the format and style that best suits our channel, always keeping it real and reliable. I do not want to go over the whole email because it contains the name of the product. But lastly, I said, if these terms are acceptable, we're happy to move forward. If not, we'll respectfully pass on this opportunity. So a day or 2 days later, we received a big box, a huge, heavy box. I was not in the shop. When I came in, Big Boss said, there's a big box in the front. What's that? It's very heavy. So I looked at the name and I knew it was the vacuum. I told him an advertiser wants us to review that vacuum. So the fact that the advertiser mailed over the vacuum, it means they accepted what I told them in the email, that only send it if you go by our terms. We do not sign contracts. We do not do drafts. We do not do scripted reviews. We do not do advertisements. And we do not go by what you tell us to do. We do it in an honest way. I took the vacuum home and I started unboxing. I started to unbox that vacuum. Took it out of the box. I explained everything about the unboxing of the vacuum. It came with this, it came with that. Look at the manual, look at the nice pictures in the manual, look at the tools it came with, and I tried to figure out how to assemble the mount for the charging station. I did all that in the video. And I also sent them an email. I sent the advertiser an email, and I told them that we received the vacuum. So the advertiser replied back and he said, make sure that you sign the contract because we cannot move forward if you do not sign the contract. I mentioned in the last video, I do not like to work with dumb. I made it clear, only mail the vacuum if you go by our terms. Otherwise, we will pass on the opportunity. What language do you speak? I already started the unboxing process and we're gonna finish the review for the vacuum. And then I started to receive a lot of emails from that company, not just from one person, but 4 or 5 people from that company, from that advertising company, got involved. Everyone has a different position. You have to sign the contract. You cannot proceed if you do not sign the contract. You have to return the vacuum if you don't sign the contract. It's like they forced that vacuum on you, and now they want to force you to sign that contract so they can get the review done the way they want. They're playing with the wrong person. And not only did they send a lot of emails, a lot of WhatsApp messages. What's going on? You have to sign the contract. They wasted my time. I unboxed that vacuum and I spent a lot of time going over the vacuum in the pool. Every session takes 3-4 hours. I put the vacuum in the pool, point the camera for around 4 hours until the vacuum finishes the floor. It's a big pool, 20 by 40 pool. And at the end, I want to fast forward the video to see if the vacuum missed any spots. I did that for the floor. I did that for the walls. I did that for the surface. I put a lot of effort in that review. So I told them, I made it clear to only mail the vacuum if you go by our terms. You forced that vacuum on me. I'm already recording And not much left to finish that video. They replied back and they said, no, you cannot continue if you do not sign that contract. And I told them, then we're going to stop. I'm not going to continue with the video anymore. So they sent another email, send that vacuum back. What do you think? You're playing with me like a soccer ball? You push me that way, I go that way. You push me that way, I go that way. You are playing with the wrong person. So in the July 16th video I posted, I received a lot of comments, and many of the comments stated, if that advertiser mailed the vacuum to you without your consent, you do not have to send it back. I have lawyer friends. I got their advice, and it turned out to be true. So I sent them an email. Hello, we are not obligated to return the item as it was mailed to us without our consent, despite our clear communication that we did not agree to the terms and did not want the product sent. Nevertheless, the item was shipped in an attempt to push us into a scripted review. See attached screenshot confirming our refusal. Under the Federal Trade Commission's guidance and 39 U.S. Code 3009, any merchandise mailed without prior express request is legally considered an unconditional gift, which the recipient may keep, use, discard, or dispose of without any obligation to the sender, who cannot bill or demand its return. We consider this matter closed and ask that you refrain from further emails on the subject and remove our address from your distribution list. I shut them off. They cannot just force a vacuum and they hope that we're going to sign a contract and follow a script. I'm legally entitled to keep that vacuum because they mailed the vacuum to me without my consent. When they mailed that vacuum to me after I told them to only mail it if you go by our terms, I assume that we're going to work on it without having to sign a contract. Now you are bullying me into signing a contract, not just from one person, but the whole company is after me with emails. Sign the contract. It's not going to happen. And you're not going to get that vacuum back because it was mailed over to me without my consent. I sent the email. I included a screenshot where I said to only mail the vacuum if you agree and go by our terms. They did not respond for, I would say, 2 weeks. They used to email every day, every hour, every 5 hours. They did not respond for 2 weeks. About, give or take. A few days ago, I received an email from them, even though I told them, refrain from further emails on this subject and remove our address from your distribution list. They sent an email. Let me read the email to you. While we don't have a signed agreement, you did confirm via text that you would complete the campaign, which unfortunately hasn't been fulfilled. As you know, written confirmation is legally binding. With that in mind, we see two options. We involve our legal team to resolve this. We settle it quickly by having you return the product you received, given your written confirmation of participation. To make this easier, we're happy to offer $200 bonus once the product has been shipped back. Please let me know how you would like to proceed. Written confirmation by a text message that we agreed to review your product and sign the contract. What planet do you live on? Now, at this point, I'm not obligated to reply back to that advertiser. I'm legally not obligated or required to reply back to that advertiser. But I thought, you know what, let me give them one last reply and we're going to end it. I can block them. I can delete their emails. I do not have to respond to them anymore. The law is clear. I wrote back and I said, we are under no legal obligation to respond, particularly given that you sent a product without our consent or any prior request or agreement on our part. We agreed to proceed with the project under the clear condition that no contract would be involved. We specifically stated that you should only mail the device if you agreed to these terms. Despite this, you sent the product and we began recording under the condition that no contract is involved. Once it became apparent that you were attempting to impose a contract and scripted review, we stopped the process. The device was sent without our explicit consent. Our email communication clearly outlines our position. See attached screenshot. And there is no legal basis for your claim. Under the Federal Trade Commission's guidance and 39 U.S. Code 3009, I wrote this again, any merchandise mailed without prior express request is legally considered an unconditional gift, which the recipient may keep, use, discard, or dispose of without any obligation to the sender who cannot bill or demand its return. The law is designed to protect individuals and businesses from unsolicited actions like yours, including sending products without consent and making inappropriate demands. If you require further clarification, I recommend seeking legal help. Best regards, Alex. And since this email, I have not heard back. They do not get it. The law is on my side. You cannot force a vacuum onto me, waste my time, and then come back and tell me, no, you have to sign a contract and we're going to force you into a scripted review and you have to do what we tell you and you have to provide drafts and you have to do whatever we tell you to do. Otherwise, if you do not do what we tell you to do, just imagine I signed that contract. They're going to legally follow you to do everything inside that lengthy contract. It's not a page or two. It's a very lengthy contract where they closed every loophole. They cornered you from every angle. The last sentence, I wrote them in the email. If you require further clarification, I suggest seeking legal help. That ends everything. Do not come back to me asking questions, because any email I receive from them in the future, I'm going to block their email address and delete their emails. I'm under no obligation by the law to respond back to them. So I just wanted to share this incident with you, this roller coaster of an incident with you. Knowledge is power, and when you have the knowledge, nobody can bully you into doing something that you do not want to do. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Leave it down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video. You can also subscribe to our NorthridgeFix DIY channel, boost the subscriber count, and I will see you again in the next video.